Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. You join us in the Super Formula, this time at Imola, for yet another track guide. Now, a load of you have been asking for it because we do setups, but it's always been for sports cars. We now do them for Super Formula Lights and F3. So if you want to race the exact setup being driven in this track guide, you can go to our website, sambosetups.com, or our Patreon page. There are links to both in the description. Now, any questions, let me know in the comments, but the track conditions and track temps are shown in the overlays, and I will be back after this hot lap with a breakdown. Enjoy. And over and across the line in a 121 flat. Okay, let's do this breakdown lap. So, very important that we get to our maximum braking very early on. First braking marker is going to be this 100 board on the right hand side. So, as we're just alongside it now, and I will zoom out just so that you can see. So, we're just coming up alongside it. I'll move back in now. We get on the brakes immediately up to sort of 80%, and then we're going to trail it off down to the first apex here on the left hand side. We're down in fourth gear now, and then we go flat out so that we're back up at 100% by the time that we get to the second apex, and then we can go flat through the third, which is actually turn 4. Now for the turn 5 and 6, once again, we're going to be looking this time for the 50 board. I'll just show us it as we get alongside it. And again, you can just see it as I zoom out. I'll just leave it slightly zoomed out. So yes, we get on the brakes up to about 35%, and then we're going to trail it off and then pick up back on the gas at the second of these two sets of curves here on the right hand side. Get up to 100%. Now we're going to move over to the right hand side. Now what we're looking for is this 50 board, or what I usually use in my head is the end of this little entrance road on the right hand side. We're going to get on the brakes straight up to 66%, Gianni did, and then trail it off down to second gear, and now we're going to start picking back up on the gas in second. And it's just a smooth, we don't get up to 100% until we're already at the exit curve, as you can see. Now, turn 8, lots of people can get this wrong, so we're going to use the 50 board here on the right-hand side. We're going to go through that, and then it's midway between the 50 board and the set of curbs on the left-hand side that you can just see here. We get straight on the brakes to about 50%, trail it off down to the apex, back on the gas in fourth gear. We're going to be exiting nice and wide. Head down the left-hand side. We're going to start our turn-in at the 50, and we're going to go flat to the first apex on the right-hand side here. This is when we roll on the brakes up to about 45, 50%, and then trail it off, picking back up on the gas at this final apex on the right-hand side in third gear. We want to be exiting nice and wide. Now, this isn't an off-track because our right-hand tyres are still on the track. Anything over to the left-hand side of this is going to be one. Right, as we come into this chicane, so we're going to brake quite hard, but just alongside the 50 board. You can actually see it there if I zoom out. So I'm going to move back in again. This is my field of view when I'm actually on my triples. And we brake up to about 85%. We're going to trail it off all the way down to the second apex and then start picking back up on the gas. Now, the thing you'll need to remember here is because your rear is currently unsettled because it's slightly in the air having run over this curb, you do actually have to wait until the car has fully landed like it has now before we get back on the gas. And again, you might need a little bit of counter steering on the exit. Right, coming to the final bit of braking, it's going to be the 50 board on the right-hand side, or midway between the 100 and the 50. We get straight up to 90%, and then we just trail it off. We start picking back up on this apex on the left-hand side. We get briefly up to 100%, and then, as you can see, the asphalt changing colour up ahead. That's going to be our braking marker here. We don't need to brake particularly hard here, only up to about 15-20%. Trail it off, and then back on the gas at the apex. And that concludes the breakdown lap of the Super Formula at Circuit Imola. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on and without me talking, so enjoy.